The estate inventory was written in brown ink. Furniture first. 3 tables, 12 chairs, 2 bedsteads, then livestock, 6 mules, 14 hogs, 32 chickens. Then, near the bottom of the page, between broken ladder and roof repairs, one more entry appeared. Small handwriting, almost squeezed in. Female, in attic, not for sale. No name, no age, no price, just location, in attic. The clerk circled it once, then underlined it, because inventories didn't list people that way. Not like tools, not like damaged property. And yet, there it was. The house had been closed for weeks after the owner died, windows nailed shut, dust on every surface, no staff remaining. So if someone was still inside, they had been alone for days, maybe longer. The clerk later wrote a short note in the margin, door locked from outside. He said the air upstairs felt different, hot, stale, like something stored too long. He asked the sheriff to come before opening it, because whatever was in that attic had been kept there on purpose. County records would later show the same house connected to a wedding gift 20 years earlier. A transfer, not of land, not of silver, but of a girl. And what happened between those two moments, the wedding and that inventory line, would stay hidden for years. They had been alone. For days. Maybe longer. The clerk later wrote a short note in the margin, door locked from outside. He said the air upstairs felt different, hot, stale, like something stored too long. He asked the sheriff to come before opening it, because whatever was in that attic had been kept there on purpose. County records would later show the same house connected to a wedding gift 20 years earlier. A transfer, not of land, not of silver, but of a girl. And what happened between those two moments, the wedding and that inventory line, would stay hidden for years. 1853. Outside Savannah, Georgia. Low marshland, pine trees. One narrow road leading to a cotton plantation called Red Hollow. Not large, about 40 enslaved people. One main house, 2 outbuildings, a smokehouse, and a steep-roofed attic under warped shingles. County tax ledgers list the owner. Thomas Whitaker. Age 27, recently married. The marriage contract still survives on microfilm. Most of it is ordinary. Land parcels, dowry furniture, livestock counts. Then one line. Transfer of one house servant girl, approximately 14, permanent. No surname, just first name, Eliza, written smaller than the rest. The bride's father signed beneath it, like a receipt. Census notes from the following year list her under household labor, kitchen work, cleaning, water hauling. After that, she disappears. Not marked dead, not marked sold, simply removed, as if erased. But the house itself offers clues. Attic beams reinforced from the outside, a new latch installed in 1854, extra nails purchased, listed in store receipts. Small things, easy to miss. At the time, neighbors thought little of it. People came and went from plantations often. But years later, those small changes would matter, because they suggested something deliberate, something built to keep a person in, not out. The attic had no proper floor, just beams and rough planks, dust thick enough to leave footprints. In summer, heat collected under the roof. Air didn't move. Metal objects burned to the touch. In winter, frost formed along the nails. Water dripped through gaps. That is where she stayed. Not chained, not tied. The lock made chains unnecessary. The door opened only from the hallway below. Meals came twice a day. Cold leftovers, cornbread crusts, sometimes nothing. A bucket for water, another for waste, both rarely emptied on time. Neighbors later remembered faint sounds at night, soft tapping, like someone walking slowly, back and forth, back and forth. The boards above the ceiling creaked with the same rhythm for years. Children in the house were told it was rats. Servants knew better, but they didn't speak. No one wanted trouble. Her world shrank to measurements. 8 steps one direction, 6 the other. One small window, painted shut. Dust in the lungs, wood splinters in the hands. Time marked only by seasons. Hot months, cold months, hot again.
Years passed quietly. At the time, they believed no one would ever find out. Ledger entries show extra flour purchased regularly, more than the household needed. Someone was accounting for an extra mouth, but never recording why. Sometimes guests stayed overnight. Music downstairs, laughter, boots on the stairs. She would sit still then, not moving, listening. Because if they remembered she existed, punishments followed. One servant later told a minister, "She spoke less every year, like she was forgetting how." Years later, the people responsible would face questions in court. But during those 20 years, nothing changed. No visits, no doctor, no daylight. Just the same locked door. Morning, night, morning, night. Waiting.
After Whitaker's death, the county froze the estate. Standard procedure. Every object listed, every structure inspected. That's how the attic was opened. The clerk, the sheriff, and a local pastor climbed the narrow stairs together. Dust thick. No footprints. The lock rusted but intact. They forced it with a hammer. Inside sat a woman. Thin, hair unevenly cut, eyes slow to adjust to light. She didn't run, didn't speak, just stared, like someone pulled from deep water. The pastor later wrote, "She appeared older than her years, skin pale, movements careful, as if the floor might disappear." She was 34. Records confirm it. 14 at the wedding. 20 years missing. Boxes nearby held scraps of cloth, marks carved into wood, short lines, hundreds of them, tally marks, days counted, or years, no one knew. Property papers uncovered more. Purchase receipts for the attic latch, notes from the wife complaining about noise above, a letter to a neighbor, she is easier kept out of sight. And finally, the original wedding contract. Eliza's name matching the census from 2 decades earlier. Proof she had never left, never been sold, never freed, just stored, like damaged property. The sheriff filed charges, quietly, because now there was evidence. She was taken to a church hospital in Savannah, given a bed near a window. Nurses recorded small details, couldn't tolerate sunlight at first, ate slowly, spoke rarely, didn't sleep through the night, always listening, as if expecting footsteps. But she lived for 2 more years, long enough to walk outside, long enough to sit under trees, long enough to say her name clearly again. Eliza Whitmore. That's what she told them. Not Whitaker, Whitmore. her mother's name. She chose it herself. She died in 1875, buried in the churchyard. Simple marker, but marked free. As for the Whitaker family, the court case moved faster than expected. Servants testified, neighbors spoke, the wedding contract was presented. So were the attic repairs and the inventory line. Female in attic. It was enough. The widow lost the estate. Property seized, land auctioned, debts exposed publicly. Their name printed in newspapers. No buyers wanted the house after that. It sat empty. Then, 5 years later, fire. Started upstairs. Roof collapsed first. Witnesses said the attic burned hottest. Nothing left but brick and nails. Today, the foundation is still there, grass growing through it. If you walk the site carefully, you can still find one thing in the dirt. A small iron lock, rust sealed shut, exactly where the attic door used to be.